We've talked about how there's been a lot of good sentiment around XDefiant and some good news recently with how the success of the launch went by compared to recent internal goals. Today, though, I wanted to talk a bit about some more front-facing stuff, some good news for us, the players, rather than perhaps the internal success that is cool to talk about but doesn't really affect us day to day. Today, we're taking a look at a bit more good news for XDefiant and what you should know about. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below on what you'd like to see in regards to upcoming changes, features, and more in regards to XDefiant. Also, make sure to subscribe and stick around here on the channel with Black Ops 6's reveal and other FPS content coming. We've got a super busy summer, along with, of course, even more XDefiant coverage that I'd love to have in the community for as we chase down 600,000 subscribers. But anyways, let's jump into it. So first things first, we do know we have some changes coming. We've got some stuff that have been talked about for a little while now, but it's been officially confirmed now by executive producer Mark Rubin, who's been vocal on Twitter for a long time, that we have some stuff upcoming. In some recent discussions where he was just trying to figure out some connection errors that were present in XDefiant over the last few days, he also, alongside that, dropped a few hints at some cool changes upcoming. The first one that we know of is a weapon pass for snipers. Of course, this is something that has been problematic for some people. They are a very powerful weapon. Of course, if you are skilled, you're going to have that clear advantage because there's not really a whole ton of flinch, and it's a one shot at almost any range, any position on the body. Depends on which weapon you're using. But that's been something the community's been asking for some changes here to mitigate a little bit of that, maybe make it a bit more competitive for players that are trying to challenge something at a distance, but again, not necessarily eviscerate where a sniper would be something that is the more viable weapon. When asked how long until snipers get a flinch, I'm tired of hitting them with 6 bullets and getting my hairline taken off since they don't move. Mark Rubin ended up answering this. He said, "This coming Tuesday, if all goes well in testing, the first iteration of flinch goes in." So firstly, we know we have an update here coming this week at some point, and it is definitely nice to see one of the larger problem issues here be something that is tackled so early on. Obviously, other things like netcode and things like that, well, that might be coming here in that same update because that was something that seemingly was tethered alongside that as the core issues they wanted to tackle as soon as possible, but nothing new has been mentioned on that front. So that part's a little bit more just speculation. Another thing that was mentioned specifically, though, was something that a lot of players right now might not necessarily be too bothered by because there's another double weapon XP event going on at the moment. But I mean, base weapon leveling is something that does take a lot of time, and that's a sort of double-edged sword because on one hand, some people like it that it does give them something and a reason to come back and play, whereas a lot of the key pillars of the game doesn't really offer a lot in regards to like incentivizing play perhaps for different rewards. That stuff probably coming more later on down the line. But on the opposite side of the coin, some players are like, this takes too long, because if you are a casual player, it might not be something that you even get some of the best weapons you know are going to do well for you ranked up until a lot of playtime, which if you don't have a ton of time in a day to play, could take some weeks here to end up getting just your few basic weapons ranked up. So that's something that has been a topic of discussion. Will they, won't they, in terms of balancing some of that XP yield? To which it was asked, are there any plans to increase the speed of leveling on guns in XDefiant? I feel like even with 20 kills a game and playing super objectively, I'm still not seeing much progress, even on double XP weekends, to which Mark just simply said, yes, changes coming soon. Now, there is no ETA on that one, but again, we do know that an update is coming this week, so perhaps that's something that is rolled into that update as well, but perhaps not, because this is where it gets a little bit muddier about what we know what's happening, because it was clarified earlier today, where Mark Rubin said, just an FYI, we had to spread out the changes into 2 patches 1 week apart. First patch is this Wednesday, second patch is 1 week later. So firstly, slight change in schedule. I wouldn't be expecting that update on Tuesday anymore. Obviously, it looks like it's going to be a Wednesday, which does make sense also in the sense of some other XDefiant content and coverage, which we'll touch on in just a second, but it is something that moves back just 1 day. But also, it seems like there's going to be enough updates here going forward that we're going to have 2 consecutive weeks of updates of stuff that is seemingly noteworthy. So that's something to consider as well. 1 patch this Wednesday, 1 patch next week. So some hopefully good changes coming here through this, and again, some even confirmed for this first and perhaps second update, but that's not where the good news stops, because there's a little bit more about the future of XDefiant. More so specifically, Season 1 teasers. Ubisoft Forward starts on June 10th at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK. So this upcoming Monday, we are going to learn about a lot of stuff in the Ubisoft world. Personally, I'm looking forward to seeing more about probably Star Wars Outlaws, maybe some Assassin's Creed information and stuff like that. But in regards to XDefiant in particular, that's where we're going to see news. It's already been confirmed. We're going to see what's coming soon to XDefiant, which means a first look at Season 1 teasers. That's the only thing that I can realistically think about, because obviously the game is out there. It's not like they're going to tease a launch date like they could have last year with Ubisoft Forward, but instead, Season 1 is currently looking to be July 2nd. So we're just a few weeks away from that as of the 10th, and that's probably going to kick off the first bit of sort of hype in regards to Season 1. So I'm expecting to learn a little bit about some of the Year 1 plans at large when it comes to this kind of stuff with Ubisoft Forward, but also more specifically, things like our first faction in Season 1, a couple of the maps perhaps, the weaponry to expect, maybe a preview of the battle pass. It really comes down to how much they want to show off and how early, because again, a lot of this stuff they can build up in the coming weeks leading to Season 1, but this could just be a tease, it could be a full reveal, we don't quite know. Now, personally speaking, here's the unfortunate part with Ubisoft Forward and this second patch, not this upcoming Wednesday, the day after on the 11th, but the week after that. Again, only from my perspective. I'm super excited for the world to see some of the stuff that we're going to have coming up for XDefiant, but I love to bring you guys as much up-to-date information as possible, but I'll be doing something for content that I don't know that I'm allowed to talk about just yet as of the time of the Forward happening, when that's going live. Not for COD, not for XDefiant, but something that I'm completely away from my office by like 1,000 miles or so. So it's possible we pick up coverage on Tuesday. I've got a red-eye flight coming back here that should hopefully get me in time to get some regular content up on Tuesday, but it's also possible I'm just a tad delayed on when our discussion for that stuff happens. And as for the update the week following, well, I'm gonna be on my honeymoon, so I'm completely disassociated from everything. I'll be away for that whole week. We'll have content regularly scheduled for that, but it just won't be the most up-to-date stuff per se. A lot of stuff that necessarily isn't time-oriented, but yeah, I'll be away for that point. So unfortunately, we're not going to cover that second update, but hopefully the mention of this today can serve as enough of a heads up to be like, hey, just be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. But anyways, that's some good news coming here for XDefiant. Again, some big things that players have wanted to see being changed. 2 already consecutive updates on a timetable that is, I think, pretty solid. You have things that you know to be aware of as the next 2 weeks. And of course, Season 1 teasers, who doesn't love to hear about new content? So looking forward to seeing what this will now bring here in the next coming days and what all is revealed at Ubisoft Forward. But anyways, that I think is where we're going to wrap it up. So that said, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of these updates, changes? Would you like to see anything else added into these updates that we already know about? Are you hoping to see anything in particular out of Season 1's teasers at Ubisoft Forward, or perhaps just Ubisoft Forward in general? Let me know your thoughts down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor, drop a like on the video. It really does help out the channel. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing running all things XDefiant coverage. And of course, starting tomorrow, we have Black Ops 6 official reveal content and everything. So we're going to be having a ton of stuff to discuss that you guys will not want to miss if you're at all interested in that kind of stuff. But I'd love to have you in the community. For now, though, thanks so much for watching. My name has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.